руководству нашего города, региона.
I appeal to the leadership of our city, region, who has such an opportunity to resolve such issues. Mobilization has been announced in the country. We are guys from the Omsk region, from the city of Omsk. We have left our families and our homes. Some of us have children, wives on maternity leave. We have a question: will there be payments as financial support? Because our families need it. The income earners have left.
There are not enough funds to provide payments for the mobilized, admitted the leadership of the Omsk region. Less than a month has passed since Putin announced a partial mobilization, and the consequences for the economy from the conscription of reservists will be felt for years, economists say. If 300,000 men aged 20 to 55 are drafted to the front, this will cause the fall in GDP and spur inflation this year, simply by reducing the labor force. It will also hit the already low financial conditions of the Russians, economist Ivan Us says. Now there is a decrease in demand for food products, but there is one exception. The need for air tickets after September 21st showed an increase of almost 40%. People are fleeing from mobilization, and this will also affect the economy of the Russian Federation, the expert believes.
Therefore, now they will receive both a problem in terms of providing for those who have been mobilized, and second problem, how to provide for the economy needs, since the economy cannot exist because people are constantly leaving. This undermines a huge number of markets. It hits the same apartment sales. There are various statistics that the demand for apartments has declined sharply, and this is an indicator that people do not see the future. That's why they leave.
And these are the residents of the temporarily occupied Mariupol, who are forced to stand in long queues for humanitarian aid, since food prices are very high, when salaries and pensions are not enough even for the minimum standard of living. The illegal annexation of the Russian-occupied territories of Ukraine formally increases the population of the Russian Federation by about 5 million people, writes the Meduza Media Online. This means that Russia should redistribute its budget and send additional funds to these territories. But no one most likely is doing this, Ivan Us says.
This is especially true, let's say, the money that could go to, let's say, Kherson and the bordering territories. They perfectly see the dynamics at the front and understand that every town that is on the line of contact with our armed forces will be lost by Russia. That is, Russia is not acquiring territories now. Russia is more likely to lose them, no matter what their propaganda says.
According to Meduza Online Media, the Russian National Wealth Fund, the government's main reserve, which has been filled since 2017 with income from oil and gas revenues, may be completely exhausted in 2024. The government is already spending it to support the aviation sector, construction and other industries. And despite the fact that the Russian economy has withstood 8 packages of Western sanctions, hard times are ahead. This was stated by the president of Russia himself on October 6th during a conversation with government officials via video.
In general, the situation is stable, but we are here to talk about all of this. At the same time, it is important to understand that the sanctions pressure on Russia will only increase. You need to have flexible and effective action plans calculated for the near and medium terms.
Russian Ministry of Economy now expects a 2.9% GDP contraction in 2022, while Western leaders hope the sanctions impact is long-term and will hold back the Russian economy for years. According to Ivan Us, an internal default in Russia should be expected at the beginning of 2023, when the embargo comes into force, blocking the import of 90% of Russian oil to Europe.
Here is next year. I'm not sure that there will be reserves. Plus, let me remind you that restrictions on pipeline oil will come into effect in February. Now, what we have in the 8th package is delivery by ships. As for pipeline, this is February, plus there are other restrictions, perhaps for gas will also be from February.
However, according to The Economist, everything can happen even earlier, as the Russian economy is operating in a turbulent mood, and the reserves of safety is smelting. Mass layoffs, bank deposit freezes, bank crashes, and unemployment awaits Russians. Reported by Roman Smoler, Natalia Belokudria, UATV News.